All right, great Sunday evening to you, YouTube. Gonna get this in here under the radar while LA burns. So a late night Silver Sunday to catch up on some things with all the good things. So if you have noticed, or maybe you haven't, silver is back at I guess it's 13-year high. Silver broke back up against 36 this past week, and it has everybody in the internet world kind of a Twitter, or especially in the silver stacking circles, etc., and all the hypothesis of what do you do now, right? What happens now that this price is up there and yada yada and everything? And I just wanted to come in and throw out a little bit of opinion and perspective and remind people why we got into this to begin with. So here on the right, these bars, this is the first bulk silver I bought. I had bought, I had some collector coins, I guess you'd say, and some, old 90%, Kennedy half dollar here and there. I wasn't stacking. When I first started stacking, I made the video on YouTube with these 10 1 ounce bars. That was my first foray here into the silver stacking realm when we got these guys right here. Way back when, and I was looking for the video, and I don't know if YouTube took it down or if I deleted it for some reason. It was over 12 years ago, so obviously that makes a difference. But I don't know what happened to it, but it was on here, and that's when we talked about switching out of the digital and out of the paper and into the good stuff. And what's funny is how your perspective changes. Like, these are the only 1 ounce bars I own. I immediately switched to rounds and eagles and everything else. That was kind of funny how we, started off with the most inexpensive thing I could get, and then kind of evaluated what I kind of wanted to do and went right to other things other than these. But so the price, everybody, what do you do? So with this first ounce, 10 ounces, and versus last 10 ounces a while back, here with the last 10 ounces, the way I look at it, the price is essentially irrelevant until you need to pay for something or get a payment for them, right? My ounces haven't changed. I have a lot more ounces since I bought these, right? And up to these last ounces, they're equivalent. 10 ounces is 10 ounces. These collectively 20 ounces is 20 ounces. That's the way I'm approaching this whole thing, and I think I've kind of tried to highlight that over the years is, silver is your saving ounces, not dollars. So tried to emphasize that, and hopefully the message got across, because that's the way we're approaching this. The only issue with price now is you can't buy as much as you could back then. It makes you regret not getting as much then as you could now. I think when we got these, I think these are $28 an ounce or something like that, because the price was coming down to that big dip. Or does it go this way? That big dip down, that cup and handle that they talk about. Insert graph now. The chart there, you can see the big dip, right? We were starting way over there on the left side, not at the top, but down there like 2013 time frame, and buying all the way through that, all the way up to back where we are now. Just being consistent, just like any savings account. Save the same amount every month, or a little, depending on, save your bonus, save your whatever, and that's where we're at. These ounces don't change. These things are not any different than the ones bought back in 2018. Again, the biggest thing is regretting not finding a way to squirrel away a few more ounces when you had the chance, because now it's getting really hard to afford what you could back then. But it's just the way things are, I guess. it doesn't seem like it's any easier or harder. It's just a matter of where you put your focus and where you put your resources, right? It's like 10 ounces then seemed like really hard at the time, and then now it's this. It seems like it's just as hard. um, and that has to do with the inflationary nature and having to pay for all the other things and whatnot. So keep stacking, as pretty much everybody would say. Stack it up, as Silver Dave would say. Keep stacking, Constitutional Silver would stay. I don't know, all the different channels, they all have the same mantra, I guess you'd say, but for good reason, because you see where everything is heading. You see what has happened in the last 2 years of, I wouldn't necessarily say predictions being right, just people being able to observe trends and what is happening to your paper digital dollar, what the digital stuff is doing versus real things, real money, real stuff, and whether or not you have opportunity to, or have the need, I wouldn't say opportunity, if you have the need to move your savings into something else like property or surgery or something essential, like you have it available in consistent purchasing power, not in hyperinflated dollars that have lost value over the last 10 years, drastically lost value, right? So I just wanted to chime in and see if anybody had any opinions or if they had thought anything more about what they've stacked over the last 10, 15 years. And a little smudgy there. I don't get these things out very often, but I guess something's probably lasted on there. These have held up pretty well considering, tarnish or whatever, and they've not really tarnished up. So, I just want to throw that out there, YouTube, because the prices are going up and it's making it really hard to acquire. But again, ounces are ounces. Get what ounces you can when you can. There's no difference between those and these. Essentially, they're the same thing. So it's just a matter of what you have to do to get them. Is it number of hours of work that you have to do, or whatever? That's really what ultimately goes into this, is your efforts it takes to secure this. So let's hear it, YouTube. What are you doing? Hope everybody doing good. Stay out of LA. But definitely pray hard, prep hard, live free.